Have you noticed that modern life feels full, yet internally so many people feel empty? It's a strange kind of emptiness, not dramatic, not painful, but quiet, dull, and constant. A feeling that something essential is missing, even though, logically, everything should be fine. We wake up, scroll through endless content, move through familiar routines, and distract ourselves until the day ends. But somewhere beneath it all, there's this subtle hollow space, a soft echo inside the mind that most of us don't know how to confront. Modern emptiness is not a mystery. It's a psychological pattern, a philosophical condition, and an emotional signal that we've drifted too far from ourselves. Modern life offers more stimulation than any era before it. Constant notifications, entertainment on demand, music, podcasts, information, a never-ending stream of mental noise. But here's the paradox. The more stimulation we consume, the less meaning any of it carries. Psychologists call this meaning dilution. When the mind receives too much input, it stops processing depth. Everything becomes thin, even the things that used to feel full. We're overloaded, but undernourished. Our brains are full, yet our inner world is starving. This imbalance creates a subtle emptiness, a sense that nothing truly reaches us anymore. Most people don't feel empty because they lack something external. They feel empty because they're disconnected internally. Silence is avoided. Stillness is uncomfortable. Our own thoughts feel like strangers we're afraid to sit alone with. And so we drown them out. Not because we're weak, but because modern life trains us to stay distracted at all costs. But when you cut yourself off from your own inner world, there's nothing left but a shell. A mind full of noise, and a self that feels out of reach. This disconnection is not depression, it's not burnout. It's something simpler, and in a way, more tragic. We've forgotten how to be with ourselves. Another psychological cause of modern emptiness is the fragmentation of attention. We don't give anything our full presence anymore. Not work, not relationships, not even our thoughts. Instead, our mind jumps between micro-stimuli, a message, a tab, a video, a micro-pleasure, a micro-distraction. This constant jumping prevents the brain from forming deeper emotional impressions. And without impressions, you don't create memories. And without memories, life stops feeling like it's truly happening. When attention is scattered, experience becomes shallow. And shallow experience leads to an empty emotional landscape. Modern life forces us to adapt to constant pressure. When the mind feels overwhelmed, it creates a protective layer, a quiet emotional numbness. Not sadness, not pain, just a muted version of yourself. This is mild dissociation, a psychological survival mechanism where your brain slightly disconnects to avoid overload. It keeps you functioning, but it also keeps you distant from your deeper feelings. This numbness feels like emptiness, and most people never realize it's not a flaw, it's a defense. Modern emptiness isn't a personal failure, it's a natural response to a world that overwhelms the mind, distracts the attention, and disconnects us from ourselves. But emptiness also carries a message, a quiet invitation to rebuild meaning, depth, and presence in a life that has become too loud and too fast. Depth used to be a natural part of life. Conversations had weight. Experiences unfolded slowly. Silence wasn't something to avoid. It was space for the mind to breathe. But in modern life, depth lost its place. We trade meaningful moments for constant micro-stimuli. We consume connection through screens and compress emotion into short bursts of attention. Philosophers call this the flattening of experience, where everything becomes equally shallow, equally replaceable, equally forgettable. Without depth, meaning drains out of life, and without meaning, emptiness becomes the default emotional state. Modern identity is fragile. It's shaped by comparisons, external standards, social validation, productivity, and the pressure to constantly reinvent ourselves. But when your identity depends on how the world sees you, you lose the sense of who you are when the world isn't looking. This creates a subtle internal void, a feeling that your life is happening, but not necessarily yours. Psychology calls this self-alienation, when the person you're being doesn't align with the person you actually are. This misalignment doesn't always create pain, but it always creates emptiness. Humans need meaning as much as food and rest, but modern life offers endless comfort, yet very little purpose. We replaced ritual with routine, community with individualism, reflection with distraction, being with scrolling. Meaning isn't something you find by accident. It comes from attention, presence, and effort. And when life becomes automatic, meaning silently fades away. This isn't a philosophical problem, it's a psychological one. The brain stops attaching emotional significance to a life lived without intention. And when meaning fades, emptiness grows. Here's the part most people never hear. Emptiness is not the enemy, it's information. It's your mind telling you that something essential is missing, not externally, but internally. It's a signal that you're disconnected from your deeper needs: rest, presence, creativity, slowness, silence, authenticity, and meaningful emotional experience. Emptiness is the quiet voice of the self that you've forgotten to listen to. When you stop numbing it and start hearing it, it becomes clarity. Escaping emptiness doesn't begin with adding more to your life. It begins with removing what's in the way, reducing noise, slowing stimulation, allowing moments to be still instead of instantly filled. Then, meaning can grow again, not through dramatic changes, but through depth. Depth in attention, depth in conversations, depth in silence, depth in the way you experience even small moments. Modern emptiness fades when inner life grows strong again, not louder, not busier, just deeper. People feel empty in modern life because the world has become too loud for the quiet things that make us human. But emptiness is not a failure. It's a reminder, a call to return to yourself, to rebuild presence, to protect your attention, to slow the mind enough to feel life again. Because the opposite of emptiness is not fullness, it's connection. Connection to the moment, connection to meaning, connection to your own inner world. And once that connection returns, life regains its depth, one quiet moment at a time.